All right, so let's see. I can't tell if I'm live or not. I can't tell if anybody is watching or whatever the case may be. Okay, I do see that I'm live. All right, so again, this is just a testing stream. My first live stream. I'm not a tech savvy person. So this stream is really just for me to get to learn the layouts and the different buttons and so on and so forth. Like even now, my audio may not be the best, but I'm not entirely sure. But regardless, this also give me the opportunity to introduce myself, the expectations of my channel. Not so much my channel, more so the live streams. But there will be a lot of like stall time per se, me muting my mic at least at the beginning until possibly giving the few people that may come and interact in the chat, giving those few people the opportunity to come in, and then it also give me an opportunity to kind of keep messing with what I'm seeing on my screen. I'm telling y'all, I'm the last person to be trying to conduct any type of live. So it's gonna take me a little while to really get going. I know this first stream not gonna be worth anything, but all in all, just be patient with me until I figure out exactly what I'm doing. I don't even know if I'm showing up on the YouTube side or not. Y'all don't laugh at me, man. Don't laugh. Help. Let me see. Okay, it do show that I'm actually live now. It say I got one watch. Oh snap! Got one watching. I'm on my way to 1,000, man. Let's see. I don't know whoever that one person is, but whoever you are, I appreciate you joining. If I can figure out how to get to my chat, I'll put in the chat that it's gonna be a lot of little stall time here at the beginning. I'm not really starting just yet because I want to figure out how to at least get to the chat. Want to give, like I said, the few people that may actually watch, I want to give those people time to tune in to the live. So I don't know if that one person is actually somebody I know or not, but regardless, I do appreciate you for tapping in. Again, if somebody is in the chat or anything, I cannot see the chat right now. So once I figure out how to get to that, then I'll probably actually start laying out my introduction and the expectations and all that. Right now, I'm just trying to be a good host, if you will, and keep this one person entertained. Oh snap! I see three of them. Boys on the way to 1,000, man. Hold up. Let's see. Let's see. I don't want to stall too much. I kind of want to get into it because part of me getting into it, I can go ahead and say this. Part of me getting into it at the beginning was to let people know that with my actual pre-recorded videos, obviously there's edits to the audio, so it makes it seem as if I talk faster than I really do. So y'all getting a first-hand glimpse on my slow talking country self. So y'all see I don't actually talk as fast as my pre-recorded videos. So y'all bear with me. Some words you may not be able to understand what I'm saying, whatever the case may be. Okay, I do see a spot up here that say two comments. Okay. All right. So I at least see the comments. I see Blaze. Peace and blessings. Liberated soul. I remember you from on Just Jay's channel. Solid content, brother. Keep going. Stopping through for support. Blaze, I appreciate you, man. Whether you still around or not, I appreciate you for even stopping by. TMKC, much love to you, sis. I already know who you are. Hi, bro. Long time no see. I appreciate you joining the live as well. It's always love anytime we interact with each other. But being that I can now see the chat, I don't need much of anything else to really mess around with. I'm a very basic type person. So here at the beginning, all I care about is being able to see if I need to interact with anybody. And that's it. All the other stuff I'll figure out as time go on. So getting started, just a little bit about me. TMKC, is my audio okay? Sis, can you confirm that or not? But just a little bit about me for anybody that I would imagine if anybody is going to be in the chat, is more than likely going to be people that is somewhat familiar with me. Thank you, TMKC. But so I already got the slow talking country part out of the way. That's me to the core. Um, Something that one of the things that I'm into is mental health. So that's going to be a lot that you will get from it. But my journey into getting into the field of mental health, so it's live stream, something you're going to do on the regular now. Blaze, bro, honestly, I appreciate you asking that question too, by the way, because that is something that I wanted to address. I would say right now, my live streams are going to be very random because um my my circumstances as far as my child or whatever the case may be, a lot of times she running around turned up. That's going to be the main part as far as when I actually do get time to sit down. That stops me a lot of times. And then also, I'm not really a live stream person. I'm more of a pre-recorded video type. But I do want to start doing live streams more because I understand that's just a part of, if you're going to have content and you're actually trying to grow your channel, which I'm trying to grow my channel. I got plans on creating a mental health channel. So with that being said, to answer your questions, gradually it'll start becoming more regular. Right now, it'll be once every so often, just random, because I'm leaning more towards the pre-recorded. But I appreciate you asking that question, bro. So what I was saying with mental health profession, my journey through that, I just graduated with my grad degree in May. Well, it'll be quote unquote last year, 2024, May of 2024 last year, with counseling and development. And right now I'm getting ready to take my LPC. If anybody doesn't know what that means, that's to become a licensed professional counselor. That's so I can be licensed to give counseling services or therapy to not just the demographic that I work with as far as kids, mentoring and stuff like that, but it'll open me up to work with adults as well. And so with that, TMKC, I appreciate that, sis. With that, um, initially my goal and focus was just from the kid standpoint, because I figured if we catch kids at the very beginning, setting that foundation for them to have many different tools as they come throughout their life, as they get older, they'll have a better chance of, I guess, what's the word I can say? Just have a better chance of surviving in this society without all the struggles and different things we go through as adults with not giving attention to our mental health. And a lot of that goes back to our childhood because we were missing a lot of things. We went through a lot of things and those things didn't get addressed. And so now here it is. Now we dealing with a lot of those problems, and a lot of us are stuck in our ways. So it's hard to break those generational cycles or whatever the case may be. So that's why I decided to go the LPC route. I have to take that test sometime soon, and once I take that test, I have to gain 3,000 hours as far as experience, and then I'll be able to actually be a licensed professional counselor. But once after passing the test, I'll be considered a licensed professional counselor associate, and then so on and so forth. So anyway, I know that was a little long spiel, but other thing about me, I'm a loner to the core. I'm very introverted, very, very introverted. I'd much rather be alone. That's part of the reason I don't join live streams. I don't do lives or anything like that, is because I'm in my own little bubble most of the time. Now, my personality, once people get to know me, um, they are surprised by me being such an introvert. But that goes to the type of work that I do and what I've been doing. If I'm going to be working with people and trying to, help people and so on and so forth, it's beyond question as far as you're going to be around people. So you got to have some type of personality about you. So my personality, once get to know each other, so on and so forth, people get to see my actual personality. Now, I will say, in my opinion, as far as having lives, I think my personality will show a lot more. My country ways will show a lot more because pre-recorded videos is not an interaction. It's just me talking to a video, press record, finish that, upload it. Versus lives, it's a lot more interaction. As time go on and your channel grows, so on and so forth. So I do imagine that my personality will show more, and people probably will be surprised if they've seen my pre-recorded videos. They probably think, like, man, this dude here, boring as hell. But yes, I do come off that way. But I'm telling you, I'm goofy. I love to laugh. I love to have a good time. But I'm also much more on the serious side of things. But let me see my comment. Man, that's good, man. Congrats on those accomplishments, Blaze. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Congratulations. That's true. A lot of people, current movements and their patterns can be traced back to their childhood and how they were brought up. I agree 1,000%. There's a term within the mental health field called ACEs. It's adverse childhood effects, maybe something along those lines. Now I'm just now getting in the field, so all the acronyms and stuff like that I'm still learning. But essentially, it's talking about how our childhood experiences are the root to many of our problems as adults. Just to simplify it. All right, so um, more about me. Very old school. Let's go along with my country ways. I'm one of those. If it's not broke, don't fix it. An example of that, I had a cell phone recently that I had maybe back in 2015 or so. And I just recently got a quote unquote upgrade last year, 2024, from 2015. And the upgrade that I got, that phone was still produced and brought out in maybe 2018. So I'm using that as an example to tell y'all I am very country, stuck in my ways. If it ain't broke, I don't fix it. I don't need much to be able to survive and do what I need to do. So that's me to the core. Um, I don't know if I said this or not, but I try to conduct myself as a professional at all times. Now that's not in all settings, of course. You've seen some of my videos. I curse and things here and there, or whatever the case may be. But for the most part, as far as antics wise and getting involved in dumb stuff and all that. I don't mingle with that type of stuff. I don't get involved. I've always conducted myself this way because coming up as a kid, I had a lot of people, quote unquote, looking up to me. So just off the top, I was structured to be mindful of my actions because I was always trying to be seen as a leader amongst my peers and even adults that, looked at me a particular type of way. I always wanted them to be able to see that I was serious about the things that I wanted to get accomplished, so on and so forth. So I take life very serious. That's why I don't get involved with nonsense and how people say social media is just all about entertainment and you got gossiping and so on and so forth. But I'll get into more of that here in a second. So as far as right now, that's enough about me. I'll go ahead and get started. I got my notes here, so if y'all hear paper rattling or whatever the case may be, just know that's what that is. So my objectives with my channel, but more so for the live streams, being that this is my first one, I'm trying to bridge the gap in the Black community. That's all I care about is bridging the gap. I speak to this when I first got on social media, and I just updated my bio for my channel a second ago. But when I first got back on social media, part of what prompted that was a lot of things that I was going through personally, losing a lot of people left and right. And with losing those people, it was them having their life taken away from them. So it made me start reflecting on a lot of things as far as us as men, how we need to address certain things and get to a better mental state, just to keep it simple. Well, when I got back on social media, I was seeing how much of a divide there was between black men and black women. And I know for us as black men, oftentimes we do not do well. And let me say, present day, black men or black women don't do well with self accountability, but I'm only speaking to my initial time getting back on social media. I was looking at it as black men, we've never done well with self accountability. We use the term as everybody holds us accountable, but that's not the same as self accountability to me. Because somebody else holding you accountable, let's say, I don't know, I hear a lot of time court system holds us accountable, so on and so forth. But what good does it do as far as accountability when you go off and have to go to jail or do whatever the case may be, but you come out and you continue to do the same thing that got you in that position in the first place? What happened to that accountability? You said that the court system is holding us accountable and so on and so forth, but you're still making the same mistakes over and over. That's because you're not applying self accountability. You have to hold yourself accountable and learn your own lessons from what you have done and make sure you correct those actions as far as moving forward. So that was my main focus, was trying to get men to understand we got to take accountability. But in the process of doing that, London Love, was much love, sis. I appreciate you joining. I definitely appreciate your continued support. You said you were going to drop in, so I definitely appreciate you. But so with seeing the lack of self accountability, that was my focus. But in the process of doing that, it was basically making it seem as if I would turn a blind eye to the areas that black women need to address. And so here recently, I've been reflecting on a lot of that. And I realized that even though I would always say that my stance is not to negate anybody's personal experience. I never try to negate anybody's personal experience whatsoever. But it was always, men, we have a hard time looking in the mirror and seeing that, okay, this is how I'm playing a part in it, because we got so used to pointing fingers. So all that to say, that's what my content was about. But I had to realize that that was also causing a wedge between me and black men, and that's not my goal at all. I'm not trying to cause a wedge between me and black men or me and black women at all. So I figured if I put myself in the middle and I address things on both sides, it'll give me the opportunity to be heard and received by both sides, because they see I'm not being one-sided or whatever the case may be. Let me see. I think I missed Blaze. I'm like that, LOL. I don't get new phone to the phone I have starts finally breaking down, as long as this function probably did. Hey, bro, I'm trying to tell you, my phone, man, my phone I wouldn't receive messages. My camera quality was trash. I had people messing with me about it all the time. Whenever I send pictures, they think it's bugs in the pictures, but really it's just a black spot on the camera because it was so old. Like, bro, I'm with you 1,000%. And so that would be a reason that I finally decided, it is time the phone is broke. So it's time for me to move on. But so bridging the gap is part of my goal with my live streams, eliminating issues within the black community. I'm all about solutions. I do not care, Tiff. Oh, now look at her. Look at her. Look at her. We connected by the strands, girl. You already know. Appreciate you joining, Tiff. I ain't gonna even get started on you. I'll get started on you here in a little bit. I'm gonna try to stay focused, but I appreciate you actually supporting. And I know, I got a live stream going. I'm trying to get on y'all level. But let's see, solutions. That's what I was focusing on. I'm a person that's all about solutions. I don't care with wasting time talking in circles. My patience is very thin, because I don't like just talking about things just nonstop and never really getting to the point of having a solution and applying that solution. So with me seeing that's a big part of what's missing, and another big part of that is that I look at things as a one-sided solution. So being that I was just referencing black men and black women, let's say black men saying that there's no good black women, but yet and still we continue to entertain the quote unquote no good black women. And then on the black women's side, they say there's no good black men, but yet and still they entertain the no good black men. So where is the solutions with all the complaints that we do? What can we do to actually start fixing the problem? So what I think goes into that is we got to correct ourselves first. We got to look inside of ourselves and get our individual problems addressed. That's our individual, what I call baggage. That's your everyday experience. Like me, I got an attitude problem. That could be baggage coming into a relationship. But now it's a difference when you talk about trauma coming into a relationship. So that's why I always emphasize baggage and trauma. Trauma is a lot more deeper. It's that would go along with the ACEs term that I mentioned here a second ago. So we bring in a lot of those issues into our relationships, and from jump, it's headed down the path of destruction. So that's why I say we need to start focusing on more foolproof solutions and not one-sided solutions. Say black women get mad at black men and decide, oh, I ain't gonna deal with y'all, or I'm gonna start acting just as grimy as y'all, or whatever the case may be. Well, that's a one-sided solution to a problem that's steady adding more problems to the entire, dysfunction. So that's what I mean by a foolproof based solution. We got to think about a solution that works on both sides. And that's what I think with me, I think I had a potential to bridge that gap with that. I'm going to address Blaze. Man, I didn't start watching content creators or participating in chat until the end of 2023. So much of the hate and disrespect that I've seen on here is a damn shame. I agree 1,000%, bro. And like I said, I've never been one for entertaining all the just bickering and all that, even coming up throughout my life. I didn't get involved with people arguments and all that because how I looked at it, people just was wasting time arguing, not hearing each other. It was a lot of stuff. That's why I don't get involved. Candy Kane, much appreciation, sis. I appreciate you joining. You definitely said you were going to join as well, so I appreciate you holding to your word. You always showing support, even when we talking noise to each other. Know that it's all love. Chakra love, same thing. Sis, you always showing love. You always been showing support the entire time. I see I have 7 people watching, so whoever those 7 people are, I appreciate y'all. The people that's in the chat, y'all been showing nonstop support. We always interacting with each other. Now that y'all can hear me verbally and I don't have to make a pre-recorded video continuously saying thank you, I can actually say thank you to y'all right now, being that y'all in the chat. So I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all y'all. Let's see. So where I left off, another objective is discussing serious topics, thought-provoking topics. I'm not gonna gossip. Oh my Lord. If boy, I tell you, it is Flora herself. Man, me and Flora be going at it, talking noise. Flora, I appreciate you participating. Don't start no shit today. I'm in a good mood. Don't start with me. But Flora, I definitely appreciate you joining. Even though you be talking hot shit, you still show support and you show love. I hope everything is well on your end with everything that's going on. Much love to you. I'm sending all positive energy your way. But I want to discuss thought-provoking stuff. I don't want to entertain dumb shit. I don't do drama. I don't do mess. I don't do a lot of stuff. I don't do the popularity contest. I don't mingle with people just trying to be friends. I'm not a friendly person in that sense. My goal is not to make friends per se. My goal is to get us moving in the right direction. Now, if I connect with more like-minded people, building friendships in that sense, yes. But just friendships that have no substance to it, we not on the same page as far as what we're doing. I'm not focusing on those things at all, so I don't get involved in nonsense. I try to stick to serious things. Let's see what I do. Flora, don't play innocent. You already know. You stay. Never mind. I ain't gonna get started on you. But I want to provide. This is one of the main things as far as objective. I want to provide a safe space for Black men and women to have positive interactions with each other. I know we are going to have heated discussions about certain things, and get this, I'm not going to always talk about relationships, but I am opening myself up more to that because even with me being a mental health professional, I always said that when I do start counseling people, I'm not going to get involved with relationships because my focus is the individual. Because I look at it, if the individual gets right with themselves, if everybody is focusing on from an individual standpoint, let me get right, then inadvertently we all moving in the same direction. So when you run into that particular person that you're interested in, as long as they working on themselves as well, things can work out. So seeing that that is not happening, I figured, I need to open myself up a little bit more to entertain relationship topics, even though I hate them to the core. And since I'm talking about it now, I'm not a person that really cares about those type of relationships as far as personally. I do care about connections with people, building genuine from a spiritual standpoint. That's what I'm on. At one point in time, I was single for about 11 years, and I had plans on being single for the rest of my life. At that point in time, I had all the desires in the world to have kids. I wanted a lot of kids, but once I realized that relationships is probably just not my lane, I gave all that up. And then in the last 4 years, of course, that changed because now I have a daughter. Unfortunately, me and my child's mom are no longer together. And now I'm back at this point to having the experiences that I have. And I'm back to the point of saying relationships is not for me. So when I speak to I don't care about relationships, I'm talking about myself. I don't care to be in relationships because I'm focused on my purpose. I've done a lot of things, and I think from a mental standpoint, I'm just not there with people, and it's too much time that requires of me to be invested that I just don't really see it right now. I really don't have the time. So all that to say, when I say I don't care about relationships, I'm talking about myself personally, but I definitely care about people that's in relationships. I want to see those people thrive in their relationships. That's a part of Black progression. We need to be able to have our dynamic a lot better than what it is. So I feel I have a space for that. And there's not going to be the arguing. I'm gonna get to all that rule stuff here in a minute. Y'all will see what I'm talking about. But the last objective that I would say is I want people to always walk away. Man, I'm already at the 30-minute mark. I didn't plan on being on this long, and I'm not even done with rules or whatever the case may be. But regardless, I want people to always walk away with something productive from my lives. I don't want people coming to my lives, and I don't expect people to come to my lives for entertainment, because if people coming for entertainment, they'll quickly see this is not the place to be and they'll leave, because it's a lot of people that, for the most part, solely look for that. And so they'll be able to pick up very quickly that this channel boring. I'm not sticking around. So understand, I'm not here for entertainment. I'm not here to. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna laugh and things like that. But I'm gonna be focused on serious stuff for the most part, and that's why I want people to always walk away with something productive from my lives. So Blaze, like, disagreements are a part of everyday life, but for some reason people get really pressed because a person had a different experience and won't share the same perspective. Yeah, Blaze, I appreciate you adding to the conversation, man. And this is like, people that I know, they get mad at me with my pre-recorded videos because, excuse me, they say that I don't really show much of myself. They say it's like very monotone. And when I have conversations with people in person, they see all the passion I have. But my thing with that is when I'm interacting with people, people can actually see that passion, and it's a dialogue going back and forth, bouncing ideas off of each other, so on and so forth. When it's a pre-recorded video, it's just me talking. So of course I'm not one of those, hey guys, welcome to my channel, and that ain't me, man. I just be chilling. So Blaze, to what you're saying as far as people having different perspectives, I agree with you 100%. People don't listen to understand or listen to try to comprehend. And I don't know if I've uploaded a video yet. I probably already got it recorded, but a topic that I touched on was that people not listening to understand, and that's leading to a lot of the arguments, the back and forths. Because people, I be on, I watch certain panels or whatever the case may be, and people will make great points, and for some strange reason, somebody finds a way to argue that point when there's no arguing. That person was right, in that moment of what they said, but you'll have somebody else come in with a different perspective and completely misinterpret whatever the person said, or just derailing the conversation, or whatever the case may be. I used to be a person that enjoyed different perspectives, but from being on social media for the last 3 or so years, I'm not gonna lie, I hate hearing how many perspectives that there are, because it's a lot of misleading information that's out there. So Blaze, I'm with you 100%. Let's see. Chakra, romantic relationships are very challenging, but it does start with the relationship you have with yourself. I agree 1,000%, sis, and that's why I was single for so long at that particular point in time, because that was a part of my spiritual growth. I started coming into a lot more understanding that I had been feeling since my childhood. And so once I started coming into that spiritual understanding of myself, I purposely took time to myself to start addressing certain issues that wouldn't have been addressed if I would have kept jumping from relationship to relationship, because I wouldn't have given myself time, enough time to address those things. So it got addicting to be alone, to be single, because it was so peaceful. I didn't have to give energy towards X, Y, and Z. And that's part of the reason I don't want to entertain relationships, because I, if I'm going to entertain a relationship, I need that person to have been doing just as much self work as I've been doing. And I don't really see that as a thing that seems common. So, me knowing the energy that goes into making a relationship work, and I've been drained from the things that I do as far as my purpose, my work and things that I do is beyond draining in itself. So, then when I come home and I rightfully need to give the energy towards my significant other, but if I don't have that energy to give, and then here it is, we potentially butting heads over different things, and we're not addressing certain issues, all that potential risk of being in a relationship. That's why it's like I don't care to entertain them right now. At some point, I've been telling my mom, she real big on me being in a relationship and so on and so forth. But I've been telling her that I ain't entertaining another relationship till I'm probably in my 50s. And people laugh at that and think I'm playing. But once people get to know me, when I say something, I stick to what I say, and I really mean it. And so my outlook on that is just that I figured if people go through life enough, they'll go through their many different experiences, and they will then get to a point where they have those experiences and they've potentially addressed certain things, and then we may be on the same page then. But as far as right now, I got a lot of things and a lot of goals that I need to get accomplished. And with my daughter being in the picture now, my focus is on her. I don't need my energy going elsewhere for anything else. So my focus is on her. So it's going to push me to not entertain relationships, if at all, until later down the road. So let me check. See, sometimes candy cane, sometimes people just like being the contrarian, even in the midst of logic, just to cause chaos. I agree 1,000%. That's why I don't entertain panels and all that, because I just don't have the energy. That's all I can say. I'm gonna keep repeating that. I don't like entertaining and wasting time on stuff. So I'm with you 1,000%. Learn to love, liberate. I know where you are at with relationships, working in mental health, knowing things, being in a relationship with people don't care about is difficult to live with. I get it. Yeah, that's probably the other thing with me being in mental health and being mindful of said things, and now seeing the climate of where people are mentally as it pertains to relationship. It's like, man, shit, I'm not entertaining it at all. It's too much that needs to be addressed. And my opinion is that our relationships are screwed. I'm gonna try not to curse so much. Our relationships are screwed from the jump, because it's so much unaddressed things that we're bringing into that. And me knowing that, it's like, nah, I don't want to get involved. Let's see. Those folks are dreams. So it's conversation going on. Blaze, nothing wrong with that. We all have the right to choose, and what might work for one person might not be the case for the next person, and vice versa. I agree, bro. And that was another thing that was interesting to me, because when we coming up, we think that it's that saying, there's somebody for everybody type thing. So for the most part, we all think relationships is what we're supposed to be in. But at some point, and this is when I started developing more spiritually, at some point I asked myself, am I one of those people that may not, it is not in my journey to be in relationships? And so when I started looking at things like that, it actually made sense. And I made a video about this. If y'all haven't seen the Healing the Dynamic Between Black Men and Black Women series that I've done, I think I'm up to like part 11 by now. Check that out. But in one of those videos, I talk about a particular quote that I seen that opened my eyes up to how we look at relationships and how we look at love and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna paraphrase that quote. That quote was something about if you love a flower, don't pick it up, because once you pick it up, it ceases to be what you love. Love is about appreciation, not possession, so on and so forth. So when I seen that quote, it really opened my eyes up to my understanding of love was very surface. My outlook on relationship was very surface. So that's when it started coming to a point that I desired genuine connections with people opposed to relationships. So Blaze, I definitely appreciate you pointing that out. London Love, I was 22 and was thinking the same thing until I started dating my husband, LOL. But after him, I'm going back to, I'm not dating again. That's it. Yeah, well, London Love, hopefully is no after him. I hope, everything work out for y'all. But yeah, and especially in the dating market now, it's bad out here. It's bad. I don't want to hear about relationships on YouTube. Flora, I'm with you. I hate talking about relationships, but I do think that I have the potential to actually help people with that. So I had to open myself up to be more willing to talk about something that I really don't care to give time to. Shaka Love, so many people are choosing not to be in relationships. It's interesting. I've been seeing that too, Shaka, and I think my personal opinion is that it's probably just because of where we are in the dating market now and the state of mind of people. I don't blame people for not wanting to be in relationships now. I will say that's extremely sad that we've gotten to that point, because it is important for people to be in relationships. And that's something that I wouldn't speak against. I only speak against relationships from the standpoint that we need to address our individual issues first so we have a better chance of having conducive relationships. But just seeing how many people are choosing not to be in relationships, people talking about not getting married, and it's sad, not having kids and all that. It's sad, but it's bad when people get to that point. So that would be another reason why it's like, okay, man, get out of your way and open yourself up to do what you feel you have the potential to do, which is help people get away from possibly all that pain and hurt if they can start focusing on themselves and start really having standards. Because if we get standards, we'll stop all that bullshit that we go through as far as entertaining people that we shouldn't entertain. If we had a certain mentality and we address certain things about ourselves, we would not entertain half the people that we've gotten accustomed to entertaining. So on both sides, black men and black women have lowered their standards and have started to accept more. So that's a big part of the problem. Tiff, right? So over relationship combos, I'm with you. London Love, we're still good and he's healthy. LOL. That's just my perspective on the situation. Good deal, sis. Blaze, that quote reminds me of this African proverb. I'm paraphrasing, LOL, but I think it goes like this: he who loves the base also loves what's inside. Hey, I like that, bro. I'm gonna have to write that down. I think I can remember that. I'm gonna have to write that down. I like that a lot. Chakra, I love healthy relationships. Once it becomes toxic, I'm out. I'm with you. That's even with friendships. People got to apply that to friendships too. If your friendship or any relationship that you have is toxic, you need to move around. So, like I said, man, I am only on objectives, and I'm 40 minutes in. Y'all, it's really surprising me because I didn't think I have people interacting like this, because I really planned on only probably taking about 15 minutes to run through all this stuff. But I still got the rules that I need to lay out. That way I can just say I've touched on X, Y, and Z. That way people can start getting accustomed to, all right, this type of stuff don't go on that platform, and this is the type of things he's not going to tolerate at all. I don't play around with people. And get this, even for the people that support, understand, man, we are not going to always agree, but there's no bad blood. Even with the people that I don't respect on social media, there's no bad blood with those people. It's just that how I conduct myself as a person. A lot of this stuff is new to me, but it's a lot of things that I don't respect from people, and it's mainly on the men's side. It's real easy for me to not respect you as a man if you don't move as a man. Such as, I'm gonna just use something simple. If you don't take care of your kids, the respect for you that I have for you as a man is going out the window. So from that standpoint, I don't rock with you. It's no bad blood. I don't want nothing bad to happen to you, but I keep my distance from those people. So that's just an example of how I operate. If I don't respect you as a man, I don't want bad for you, but keep your distance from me because I don't rock with stuff like that. Let's see. Blaze, surface level, won't cut it. If you want something long term and substantial, you gotta have depth. I just made a video about the lack of intellectual depth in society. So Blaze, bro, from seeing you in Just J chat, and if you didn't talk to her, definitely send her my love because I haven't heard from Just J in a while. But to that lacking depth, we stay on the same page, bro. So I'm with you on that. All right, so not sure how often. Blaze kind of asked this question earlier, so I don't even have to address that. I wrote this down. Was just talking about how often I plan on doing lives. If you just came in, I don't plan on doing lives often until I kind of get more familiar with it. When I see it's a little bit more of a demand, but I have opened myself up to doing because I just know that's a part of growth in channels just all together. So I got to open myself up to different stuff that I typically don't do because I hate lives. I hate them with a passion. I'm like I said, I don't like talking to people. I think talking to people is a waste of time if we're not on the same path as far as mentally or whatever the case may be. So, like I said, I'm just opening myself up to a lot more. I miss Just I wish her well though. Yeah, Lana Love, it's the same over here. I definitely hope. I would imagine she fine, but based off my interactions with her, she just probably got tired of the bullshit that come with social media in these different sectors that just ain't on nothing serious. So for people like that, I would imagine she probably just got tired of it. I saw Just Jay on Hemp's panel. Oh, that's good to know that she good and she well. So Chakra, I definitely appreciate you letting me know that because I have been, hoping that all was well with her. All right, so now for this long list of rules that I got and expectations, here's where it gets serious. So as far as when I start having panels, and if y'all didn't see my post earlier, I may host another live later today with an actual topic and actually open up the panel, just so I can get experience with trying to conduct a panel and what buttons to press on and so forth. I don't know if I'm gonna actually do that live or not, but that there is a possibility, and if I do that live, I will open it up as far as anybody that possibly want to join. So with speaking about joining, I do not require anybody to have no camera on. I know it's a lot of let's see, I see a new person here on the spot live. Much love to you. I appreciate you joining. Definitely appreciate you stopping by. This is my first time. I want to say this is my first time ever seeing your name, but if we have interacted with each other, I definitely appreciate you for stopping by. But what I was speaking to is that you don't have to cam up. I probably will. I hear people saying cam up in the back so I can make sure you're a person, an actual person. That's probably something that I'll do because I don't have time for people coming on my stuff playing games and stuff. So that's probably something that I'll do as far as making sure in the back it's an actual person then telling you can turn your camera off because I understand, especially from a woman's standpoint, we men we tend to lose focus just to keep it PG. We tend to lose focus, and a lot of us do start trying to reach out to these women because we like what we see and so on and so forth. So I get it, especially from a woman's standpoint, not wanting to cam up, and I wouldn't want to put anybody in an uncomfortable position, not wanting to cam up but feeling forced as if they have to. Me in particular, I probably won't cam up much. I may open myself up to it more just so people can interact with me and actually, see me. But I'm one of those that if I can stay calm down, I'll stay calm down as well. So I'm not going to require that other than if I don't know you in the back saying, hey, at least show you a real person, then you can cut it off. Let's see. Oh, this goes with my old school ways. Coming up, like I said, in the country, we learned very early that when you walk into somebody else's house, you gotta abide by, their rules and their regulations and so on and so forth. So that's how I structure myself, period. That's even when I'm around kids, mentoring them. A lot of them may curse, and that may be cool at their house. But how I was raised is that kids are not they shouldn't be cursing at all, but realistically they are. But kids should have enough sense to know not to curse around adults. So I bring that example up because when I have a kid curse around me, and it's always been respectable. Fortunately for me, I haven't had any kid, start cursing me out because I'm saying X, Y, and Z. But I address a kid and say, hey, I understand you may operate this way or that way at home, but when you're around me or when you in my vicinity or my space or whatever the case may be, I ask you to respect me enough to not curse around me. So I give that example as in being that this is going to be my lives. I'm asking people to respect what it is that I'm asking of everybody. I don't want to have to boot people off. I don't want to have to mute people. I don't want to have to do any of that. And I'm pretty sure I'll bring in a crowd that's like-minded, that operates like adults. So I may not have to worry about a lot of this stuff that I'm saying, but I at least want to address it so it'll be known. And I'm going to continue to address certain things so people can get the understanding that, all right, over here on this channel, he don't operate with X, Y, and Z. So all I ask is for respect, and please believe I'm going to always give respect to everybody. I'm not a person now. I may say certain words like with men. I know we speak a certain language, like me coming up with my family members. If we were tripping, like say we weren't on our square, that's how I call it, being on your square as a man. If we weren't on our square, we would say things such as, say, man, you being weak, like you need to come on, bro, you bullshit. Like something like that. Like the weak word may rub people the wrong way. And that's something that I guess over time, if I see it's rubbing people the wrong way, I'll try to correct it. But I do say little stuff in that sense that may come off disrespectful. But understand, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to nobody. I'm not going to beef with nobody. Nobody gets that type of energy out of me, especially online, but not even in person. So understand, nothing I do is to be disrespectful to anybody. Even when I have people disrespecting me, I've been on different lives and have people cursing me out or whatever the case may be, and I don't even entertain it. I try to reason with them to see if we can conduct ourselves like adults, and sometimes it's worked out, and sometimes they wasn't having it. So when it gets to that point, I just cut the conversation off and I keep it moving, because I'm a person that I was raised a particular type of way that if it's not about action, I ain't got time to talk. And even now being an adult, now coming out of that mind frame, I'm not trying to fight people like I used to or whatever the case may be. I'm not trying to do any of that. I just rather move on, especially when they're dealing with our people. I got so much love for our people, and I realized I was being structured and programmed to have a particular type of hate or to go off at the drop of a dime and be ready to fight whenever. I grew out of that mindset because I don't want to be like that towards our people. So from that standpoint, I don't really do a lot of the back and forth. Candy Cane Lane, I'm sorry if I'm not addressing the chat. Y'all, like, again, y'all be patient with me. Are you planning on to do any lives from your YouTube wall? I've heard a lot of creators say doing that opens them up to a wider audience. Candy Cane, I'm definitely open to any suggestions that you give, because the other day I actually started a live from the YouTube side of it, but I didn't like the layout because I couldn't figure out certain things, even though it's very basic. But say like the thumbnail picture, I had to be on camera. I couldn't figure out how to get a thumbnail picture to be, the picture that y'all see. So I say that to say, yes, by all means, I will use YouTube, the YouTube side, if that's something that's going to help me out. Anybody that's in the chat that got any type of advice as far as doing this type of stuff, please let me know, because I'm open to all advice. So like I mentioned a while ago, with all this ranting and raving that I'm doing, solutions is the focus and it's not entertainment. This channel, though we may laugh and cut up in the chat, may have people on the panel. It's like a family type vibe, laugh type stuff. Though we may do that, it's still not in the sense of entertainment to be messy and gossip and just be on here wasting time. I don't have that type of time, and I don't invest that type of energy unless it's something important. So solutions is always going to be my focus. You can connect StreamYard to the wall to use familiar layout. You can connect StreamYard to. I thought it automatically did that, but I'll mess around with it here in a little bit. But yeah, I thought it automatically connected to YouTube. I don't know. I got to mess with it. The next thing, disrespect will not be tolerated at all towards me. Now, with me, I'm a little bit more open to disrespect because that's just something I think people need to learn how to have self-control and address certain things a different way. So I'm more patient when disrespect comes my way, depending on what it is and depending on how I'm feeling. I'll entertain the conversation because my experience with doing that, it has come to a good outcome. I've had people call me the B word, and I did not react. I would somewhat entertain the conversation to see, like I would say just a second ago, hey, if we gonna have a conversation, we gonna talk to each other like two grown, mature men. But if we're not, we have nothing to talk about. Then from that standpoint, if they agree to it, then we can iron out why you getting disrespectful with me. So I say that to say I'm more open and more patient with disrespect to try to iron it out. But as far as people that come on the panel or in the chat getting disrespected, I'm not tolerating that at all. Because, like I said, I want my space to be a safe space for people. I don't want people getting harassed or disrespected in any type of way. They go for men and women. I don't want women disrespecting black men. Don't want black men disrespecting black women. Don't want men disrespecting each other. Don't want women disrespecting each other. I am going to allow people to have, their discourse with each other as long as it's on the up and up and it's respectful. But when I see it's getting out of hand, I'm booting, blocking, kicking off, whatever the case may be, because I'm not tolerating any of that from anybody. I don't care how cool we are. I don't care if we got a good relationship or whatever the case may be. I would hope if we do have that type of relationship with each other, you would respect me that much more that you wouldn't do that in my space. But when I see if I ask and you can't, stop doing whatever it is you're doing, like I said, I don't care how cool we are. I will kick you out of the stream or boot you, block you if it get to that extent, whatever the case may be. So I hope everybody can just respect each other. Let's see. I think I read that one. That's awesome. We need more solution-based channels. On the Spot Live, I appreciate that. That's definitely what I'm all about. Let's see. Disrespect will be up to my discretion for the most part with certain things. What one person may not be offended by, because I have seen situations where people getting called out of their names and they don't take offense to it. They, keep going back and forth, or they just keep rocking. I'm not okay with that. Anybody being called out of their name for whatever reason. I would just say that, y'all go do that somewhere else on your own time or whatever the case may be. Let's see. Talking about folks, families, none of that's going to be tolerated at all. Name calling, belittling folks, over talking. I get that's one of the things I hate with lives is that when you in person and you having a discussion, you can tell when a person is about to say something, when they're about to speak because of body language and so on and so forth. But with lives, I get it. Some people are not trying to be rude and over talk people. It's just that you don't know when's the perfect time to jump in or whatever the case may be. So I would definitely try to figure out something with that so it could be some structure to that. But as far as just directly over talking people, I'm not dealing with that. Let's see. Respectful. I already said this a million times. I'm gonna keep saying it. I will mute and kick people off with the quickness. If it's some nonsense going on, I don't care who it is. I'm ending whatever is going on. I just at the point of having moderators, at whatever point that is, I'll start, assigning those people. But what I would ask of those people, and I'll remind people of this when it gets to that time, because I don't see a point in me having moderators necessarily just now. I would ask people to, if they're being disrespectful towards me, they can rock out and I'll address it. Now, if it's some far-fetched type stuff, obviously we'll know when to block people. But one thing I don't like to see is people getting blocked for having a difference of opinion and they're not being disrespectful. I want people to be able to express their opinion even if they have a different perspective. So I don't want people being timed out in the chat for just disagreeing. I'm not a yes man type person. I don't like yes men or yes women around me. I don't vibe with those people. I know a lot of people do, but I don't. I'm not a yes man myself. That's why I rub people the wrong way, because I'm not about to tell you what you want to hear. I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear and hope that you respect it in the long run. Let's see. Time when people are disagreeing. All right, but so much can keep agreeing. Don't be afraid to, if you rock with me, if you support me, don't be afraid to call me out on my stuff if I'm wrong in the moment or whatever the case may be, because I do see it a lot of times that when people build a support system, those people that support them, they're scared to speak to certain things and tell a person when they're wrong. That kind of goes in with the yes man type thing. If you see me off my square, or you see me not handling the situation properly, or if I'm just wrong on something, voice it. This is not an echo chamber type thing. I want people to be able to express themselves, and especially I want people to be able to, if I'm not holding myself accountable in the moment, call me out on it. I'm definitely that type of person that's going to reflect on what you're saying, and I love constructive criticism. Let's see. Next one, your name and status means nothing to me. Same rules apply, and everybody will be treated the same. No special treatment, even if we cool. I kind of alluded to that a second ago, because I know that some people think their name is something, and they have the right to do whatever it is that they want to do. Now, a lot of people, they do operate like that, and they allow people to do that. But I've never been the type to care about who you are. Even the people that's closest to me, they know that if I see you in the wrong, I'm gonna call it out. You don't get to throw your weight around just because you may be some big time person or whatever the case may be. Let's see. I just spoke to this a second ago about profanity. I am occasionally, I will occasionally use profanity. I don't really plan on this channel being a monetized channel. Once I create my mental health channel, by all means, yes, I plan on that one being monetized. But this one in particular, I don't plan on it being monetized. So I would say, as much as you can, stay away from profanity. This is just what I feel right now. I understand certain things gonna come out, and I'm okay with it to some extent. But one word that I'm not okay with at all, and that I don't want said on my platform, and I will correct it every single time, is the N word. I understand people talk how they talk, people have their own outlook on it, so on and so forth. But that's not a word that I use. I get offended when people refer to me as that word as far as direct. Now, I get casual conversation. I still have like homeboys that use it or whatever the case may be, and it does strike a nerve. But I just don't like that word. Weird Flex, much love, sis. I appreciate you coming to show support. I definitely appreciate you. I do recognize your name from a particular space. I could get it wrong, but I want to say Tiff space, Queen Cascade space. I want to say that's where I've seen your name. So I definitely appreciate you joining and showing support. Let's see. So no to N words. Oh, this is a big one for me. When it comes to conversations that's dealing with the Black community, I do not want any other race involved in that conversation. I know some people don't care. Everybody has their own way of how they operate. I just don't feel that it's the right move to make when it's a conversation that's specific to a particular race. I don't think any other race should be getting involved in that. So, with that being a pet peeve of mine, that's something that I will not allow. Now, if it's a conversation about something random, I don't care who joins the conversation as long as respect is always at the forefront. If I see anything extra, If I feel that it's something off, say another race joins any type of conversation we have, and I feel like something off because my threshold for bullshit when it comes to racial problems is non-existent. I don't tolerate that type of stuff, but I can operate and conduct myself and have conversations with people in whatever race as long as they being respectful. So again, if the conversation is specific to Black community, no other race will be able to join the panel at that time or give their commentary. I don't need no particular no potential situation coming of that. I've seen a lot of stuff on social media where people have purposely got other races involved in conversations that they shouldn't be in. And I say that's bullshit that people do that because they know what type of game they're playing. So I'm not going to play into that type of stuff. This channel is a bridge. I already kind of spoke on this. Oh, I do need to emphasize this. Everybody in the Black community will be safe in this space. That's even if people live a different lifestyle. And I'm being PG about what I'm saying. Though I disagree with a different lifestyle, I do not agree at all. But that does not change the fact that I still treat people with respect. I'm not mean to people, and I don't allow other people to be mean to said people in my space or when I'm around or whatever the case may be. So when I say everybody in our community is going to be safe in my space, I mean that. So if I see any disrespect being given to anybody that may have a different lifestyle or whatever the case may be, because y'all got to keep in mind, I'm also a mental health professional. So one, that's how I operate just in my personal life. But two, I'm also a mental health professional. So I don't need anybody coming to my space running anybody off. Now, if I see, now I don't mean like a different lifestyle, like something outlandish, like, obviously harming kids or something. Like, I don't mean like nothing like that. Like, I have no patience for those type people. But I mean, everybody has a way that they choose to live their life. And as long as you're not bringing harm to kids or whatever the case may be, that's what I mean by different lifestyle. So no doxing. This is the next thing. I don't want people's personal name being said unless they are already known by their personal name. That's cool. And I know name may not be considered doxing. I'm just using that for an example because it is subjective. Some people look at their name as you doxing them or whatever the case may be. So let me be specific. Doxing means addresses, where people from, where they live, any type of identifying information will not be allowed on my platform whatsoever at all. I have no patience for it. Like I said, calling somebody by their name, if they're cool with it, then cool, because y'all may know each other better than I know y'all. So y'all may interact with each other. So that particular part may be cool as long as the person is okay with it. But if they say they don't want their name being said and you still saying it, I'm going to ask you to stop. If you don't stop, I'm kicking you off, so on and so forth. Let's see. I already touched bases on this. Not a place for drama. No personal beefs brought over here. If you got beef with somebody from another sector and y'all just so happen to both be over here, don't bring your outside beef to my platform because I'm serious. I'm booting and kicking people off with the quickness. Don't bring outside beef to my space. I like to mind my business and I try to stay out of people's personal beef. So keep all that drama and mess elsewhere. Let's see. This is the next thing. You will likely be asked from what space do you frequent. I know that seems kind of random, but that gives me an idea of what type of person I could potentially be dealing with. Because let's say I know of certain spaces that are missing, and that's the space that you come from, and I've seen you conducting yourself as such. My tolerance for any nonsense is going to be very short with that particular person because I already know what you come with from the spaces that you frequent. So I know what mindset I'm working with, being that this is a serious platform that I'm trying to hold. I don't need all the nonsense. Let's see where I know I'm missing something. I'm missing a page. Okay, kind of touched on this a second ago as well. If you are let's say you're a channel holder or somebody from a different space, and I don't respect you as a man or as a woman, you won't be allowed to join the chat. You won't be allowed to join the panel. And it's not many people that I just flat out don't respect how they move. It's not many people, but there are some people that I don't want to entertain or engage with at all. So those people understand it's nothing personal as far as there's beef between me and you. This just goes back to what I said a second ago, how I operate. I don't entertain people that I don't vibe with. It's no bad blood. I just keep my distance from particular people. And if you fall into that category, you won't be able to at any point in time. Well, you know, things happen down the road, but as far as right now, I'm saying for a fact, you won't be able to participate in my chat anyway, or join the panel. I think this is the last thing. Thank the Lord, because I'm an hour and 5 minutes in. God, oh. All right, so the last one, I think, as far as what I have right now, this is not a space, and I kind of touched on this. This is not a space for anybody to dish out their hate for black men. It's not a space for you to dish out your hate for black women. I get you can talk about your experiences. I'm fine with that. But in the sense of coming off as if you hate said person and you going in on the people in my chat or whatever the case may be, or on the panel because you are rooted in hate, I don't want that to be this type of space. I'm cool with listening your grievances, and we're trying to work things out from a productive standpoint. Again, foolproof solutions, but I don't want anybody coming over here spewing any type of hate for people, because I'm trying to, again, bridge that gap. So finally, that's all that I have. Again, I definitely appreciate the people that came and showed support. This will be the last thing that I'll say, and I should have said this at the beginning. When it comes to liking videos, whether it's my live videos or pre-recorded, though I appreciate the likes and the comments and all that, I'm a little weird when it comes to the likes, because when I'm on people's not panels, but when I listen to people live, if I don't get anything of substance from the live or whatever the case may be, or it doesn't resonate from an important standpoint, I'm not liking the video. That's just how I operate. So with that being said, I don't require people to like the video, any of my videos, unless you actually get something from them. If you actually get something from the video, by all means, I want you to like and support. But being that you may be one that frequent and we cool and you don't like the video, I don't get offended by that type of stuff, because I want the things over here to be authentic. So if you don't get anything of substance that particular day, don't worry about hitting the like button, because I understand where you're coming from. I didn't deliver what I should have delivered. But if you do get something from any of my videos, that's where I would hope that you would like the video and add comments, share the information, so on and so forth. But I'm done now, ranting and raving. Y'all helped me get to an hour and some change, which, like I said, I only planned on possibly being on for 15 minutes at most, but being that people were interacting in the chat, again, I appreciate those people. I'm going to name those people off again. I do think that's a good practice. Blaze came through, definitely adding to the conversation, bro. I appreciate you. TMKC, sis, I appreciate you coming through, always showing support. Lana Love, always showing support. Tiff, always talking noise and showing support. Let's see, Candy Cane, been showing support since day one. I appreciate you, sis. Chakra Love, I definitely appreciate you, sis. All y'all that came to the comment section today, y'all been showing love, and it's always appreciated. Flora, again, I appreciate you. I'm scrolling through, making sure I don't forget anybody. Let's see. Let me see. I know there's one more, a name that I know. Weird Flex was there. I appreciate you. There was another name that I had never seen before. I'm trying to get back down to her. On the Spot Live, I appreciate you joining as well. The support that came through, I appreciate y'all. Chakra Love, now I'm back down to the bottom. Great job. We're happy to see you. Chakra Love, appreciate you, sis. I hope I didn't bore y'all to death. Candy Cane, congrats on the first live. You laid things out clearly. I know I probably I have it bad with repeating myself a lot of times, but a lot of that comes from me working with kids. You got to reword the way you explain stuff to some kids because they don't understand. So I'm engraved in that. So that is something that I know is going to irritate people. It's like, you already said that. You already said that. So I do appreciate y'all adding to the comment section, engaging in the conversation. Again, I probably will go live again a little bit later with an actual topic. It won't be a serious topic. It may be just something, light to open up the panel. So if anybody does want to join, it'll give me an opportunity to see how that side of live streaming works. If I decide to have that live stream, I will make a post about it later today. Right now, I'm gonna say it's not what's the word I'm looking for? It's not set in stone yet. I am leaning towards that way, but I will make a post to let y'all know if I will be doing it live. Lana Love, congrats, and I understand the rules. You did great, so don't worry. Thank you again, Lana Love. Thank you, everybody. Much love to everybody. Peace to everybody, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, and I'll see y'all next time. Appreciate it.